Morning, guys. It's Wednesday, 8th of October. Let's go through yesterday, Tuesday, 7th of October. So XJO pretty much flat, down 12. Aussie 200 fell about 21 points. Current futures pricing down about 6. UK flat. S&P 500 saw a red day for once, down 26. Just going over yesterday. So we got this sell-off, obviously, from open. Look, what I mentioned yesterday that I had a straddle here, which is a kind of a bit of a pet trade of mine, I guess, when we're expecting volatility, okay, potential volatility from the open here. So when you go over the stats, about 35% of the time, so just fix this up, 35% of days will actually move in one direction with less than 5 points in the adverse direction. So for me, if you think that, a majority of days have, say, 40-point range, 35% of days just basically move one directionally from open. So, it's definitely not a magic strategy or anything like that, but I just feel like it gives me a bit of a sense of where potentially the day is going to go. So obviously short here. Now, why I kind of thought that there was potential for volatility, we were down, I think it was 39 points the prior day, Monday, okay? So that just gives you a little bit of a tip that maybe we might see something for that day. Now, just in terms of taking profit, etc., 40 points range is kind of where I naturally aim for. What I wanted to mention is, in my opinion, the US plays fair part in where we end up as well. So it does create a bit of a weight or vice versa on our market. So just as an example, if we look at, say, yesterday, both the 15 and the first hour was down more than 10 points. Let's just see if I've got this here. Okay, so you can see 15 down, first hour down. If we kind of filter for that, and then, this is an assumption, right? We obviously don't know at 11 a.m. that the US is going to finish Asia down, but for me, it's kind of a bit of an assumption. You saw yesterday, where were we? This seller from open. So we're down about, I think, 12 points or more throughout most of the day. So even though we did come back in the end, I think it's a fair, assumption that we could have finished lower. So when you have a look at that and the impact, I guess, when those scenarios line up, where are we? RTH change. So you can see when that happens, I mean, you can write off any chance of recovery, essentially. And looking at, the 10-15 to close moves and the 11 to close moves, again, the weight is very much to the downside there. So that just gives you a bit of confidence from, maybe 10, 15 or 11. Obviously you get time decay towards the end of the Asia session, that, shorts should hold up okay. Obviously got that bit of a rally at the end, but yeah, I was kind of out by then. What else we got? UK didn't have anything really for the UK last night. S&P, nothing as well. The interesting thing for me today is that we had this fall from open here. So, I mean, there's a few things you could look at going into this morning on the S&P. I could look at, what do we got? Pre-market first hour move. So I could kind of look at that fell more than 10 points. So sell off from open. Looks like we're kind of rallying this first hour. So you could kind of look at, okay, what's happened in the past when we've had a seller from open and, the first hour is up 10 points. Well, hasn't happened a lot, but yeah, I wouldn't be getting too excited by the look of that. If we happen to get a 10-point rally this first hour this morning. Just going to the Aussie, not a lot to kind of take out of yesterday, but again, what I'm doing is kind of looking for any potential indicators of volatility and what they've done in the past. So again, let's look at, I'm going to do equals. Okay, so what I've done this morning, just in the morning session, is, okay, to me, nothing really exciting overnight or yesterday really, apart from this move into close. Okay, so I think we had about a 22-point rally into close in that last kind of hour and a half. That's interesting to me. That's when a lot of the overseas flows come into our market and we kind of get volatility the next morning. So let's have a look when we've had that. Along with that futures fall prior day, which was 21 points. So let's have a look at, okay, so we're just looking at falls, like end of day falls, even though we had that decent rally in the close. Hold on, let's clear all these. Let's try again. Less than -20. Late move being long. And then the overnight move was pretty flat. So let's just make sure we take that into account. So why I'm doing this is, I don't know the predictive value. If you look at some of these, we had a 168-point rally overnight. Okay, so I'm not sure whether how much we can take out of looking at that compared to an overnight move that's just completely flat. So I'm just trying to kind of filter for that to try and get as close as possible to these same conditions and what's happened in the past. So when we do that, one thing that I mentioned in this morning's email, this is super interesting. Okay, so to me that means, if you're partial to long, you could go full positions. This is not financial advice, but full position size at open 10 a.m. with a very tight stop. Okay, because if it breaks, historically under these conditions, if it breaks below 0, moves to day low, so opens at 10 and moves a couple of points lower, you can essentially, to do it visually, this is now kind of what you're looking at, these kind of outcomes here, right? If that happens historically. So if you like the look of long this morning based on this setup, and again, this doesn't mean that this is the right way to look at it or anything like that. The world's the oyster with all of this. But to me, that's something I can grab hold of and say, hey, the risk to reward here is really, really strong. Okay. So that's that. S&P, we'll just wait to see how Asia pans out. But good luck today.